You have watched the YouTube video about contemporary artist Elizabeth Barrien. You should have also taken the quiz on the Google Doc form that I left for you on the 8th grade website. I'd just like to briefly talk about her sculptures. This is her Pegasus sculpture, enormous large-scale Pegasus sculpture. You can see her ornate technique and the scale of enormity that this flying horse has because it is related to the escalator, the ceiling, that very large space. This is a close-up of her weaving technique in one of the birds that she's created. And a freestanding rooster, not as gigantic as the winged Pegasus, nonetheless very impressive. And an eagle, and a freestanding heron, also three-dimensional, and this enormous, beautiful horse. Now, for you to start generating ideas for your own wire sculpture, you need to start with a photograph. It will help to generate your thought. After starting with the photograph, you go ahead and create a sketch. When you're sketching, try to think of ideas about how you're going to twist and weave your own sculpture together. Set about a plan. Create that plan of action for creating your sculpture. My plan of action for creating the flamingo after I did my sketch was to start with the legs first. I wanted to start with the legs first so I could get an idea of the scale of the body. I did it by taking one piece of wire, twisting it in half and together, and then twisting it in half again. I wanted my legs to be strong. I then created the wing. I invented my own weaving technique when I created the wing. And then I created the thinner wires with the thicker wires when I wove into the wing. I then needed to create the neck, so I spiraled a very long wire. I then added my body to my wing. I needed to know my correct size placement. That is why I did the wing first. Then I continued with that weaving technique within the body of my flamingo. More weaving technique. I then attached the legs to the body, and the wing to the body, and the neck to the body, and I needed a support in the neck because it was too floppy, so I put another wire and wove that through the neck, and the beak. I then attached my beak to my head. Again, I needed support in the beak, and plus I wanted a little bit of color in the beak, so I added more wire to the beak. And then I started attaching everything together, the head, the beak, the neck, the body. And there I have my flamingo. Now the next thing I need to figure out is how I'm going to make my flamingo to be freestanding.